The power of clear goals. When I first began my journey, one truth stood out more than anything else: you can't reach a destination if you don't know where you're going. Too many people sit around waiting for success to knock on their door, hoping things will magically work out. But here's the hard truth: hope is not a strategy. What truly propels us forward is having clear, specific goals, the kind that force you to answer the hard questions. How much do you want to earn? By when? What exactly are you working toward? If you can't answer these, then any progress you make will be short-lived and likely accidental. From the beginning, I was always crystal clear about what I wanted to achieve. When we founded Alibaba, the mission was simple but powerful: to help small businesses thrive in the digital world. Because we knew exactly where we were headed, we could build a real plan to get there. Setting goals is like using a compass. It keeps you moving in the right direction. Otherwise, you might be active but not productive. I've always lived by a question that helped me take bold action. If not now, when? That phrase became a personal mantra, pushing me to attach real timelines to every goal. And slowly, small wins piled up and turned into something extraordinary. But setting goals is only the beginning. What makes them powerful is the way you pursue them. Every goal needs to be tangible, measurable, and trackable. Think of it like building a house. Would you start pouring cement before knowing how the finished house should look? Of course not. The same applies to your goals. You need to visualize the outcome and then reverse engineer the steps needed to get there. With that clarity, your path becomes much easier to follow and success becomes far more achievable. Still, even the clearest goals mean nothing without action. That's where so many people get stuck. They stay in planning mode but never shift into doing. I've always believed in moving quickly. Once your goal is set, every single step forward counts, no matter how small. That's how change begins. That's how momentum is built. And whenever I find myself feeling lost or uncertain, I come back to my goals. They're my lighthouse, guiding me through the fog. But to stay the course, there's one more ingredient that makes all the difference: discipline. Discipline, turning vision into reality. It's easy to dream big. Anyone can write down goals. But without discipline, even the best goals remain just that, dreams on paper. Over the years, I've seen people with amazing ideas, great talent, and big ambitions, but they never reached their potential. Why? Because they didn't follow through. They lacked the discipline to stay consistent. Discipline is what transforms a vision into reality. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up even on the days you don't feel like it. When we were building Alibaba, we faced plenty of setbacks. There were days when things felt completely impossible, but we kept showing up. I reminded myself and my team that success doesn't come from dramatic leaps. It comes from consistent, small steps taken every single day. Over time, those small efforts build up into something massive. That's the true power of discipline, doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like doing it. And let me be clear, discipline isn't about never messing up. We all make mistakes. There will be distractions, delays, and failures. But what matters is how fast you bounce back. Real discipline isn't about flawless execution. It's about resilience, the ability to get back up, refocus, and keep going. I've failed many times, but I never let failure define me. Discipline is like a muscle. You have to train it. Start small, build daily habits even if they seem insignificant. Wake up a little earlier, dedicate 20 minutes a day to learning something new. Stick to your schedule. Over time, these small habits become part of who you are. They build strength, they build momentum, and eventually, they become the backbone of your success. The good news: anyone can develop discipline. It's not a gift, it's a skill. And once you build it, it becomes the foundation for everything else you want to achieve. But to truly grow and lead, you'll need to adopt something even more powerful: a growth mindset. Embrace a growth mindset, lifelong learning. If there's one belief that has shaped my journey, it's this: learning never stops. The world is evolving faster than ever. If you stop learning, you fall behind. I've always believed that leaders are learners, and not just in books, but in life. Because what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. That's why a growth mindset is essential. The most successful people I've met aren't the ones who sit comfortably at the top. They're the ones who stay curious, who ask questions, who invest in their growth every single day. Even 15 minutes a day spent learning can create incredible transformation over time. You don't need hours of free time, you just need intentional time. Read a book, watch a tutorial, take a course, learn from someone around you. Learning doesn't have to be formal, it just has to be consistent. At Alibaba, we didn't just build a company, we built a culture of learning. I told my team often, if you stop learning, you stop leading. That simple phrase became part of our DNA. We encouraged experimentation. We embraced failure as a lesson. We kept asking, how can we do this better? That mindset led us to innovate and grow faster than anyone expected. The truth is, Personal development isn't a what-I'm event, it's a lifelong journey. The more you grow, the more you expand what's possible for your life and your career. When you approach each day with curiosity, when you're open to learning something new, you start to unlock doors you never even knew existed. But learning doesn't happen in isolation. The people around you shape your growth more than you might think. The power of your circle. One of the most important lessons I've learned is this. The people around you can either lift you up or pull you down. Your circle matters. If you want to grow, if you want to succeed, you need to be around people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who genuinely want to see you win. The energy, habits, and mindset of those you spend time with are incredibly contagious. They can change the way you think, speak, and act, often without you realizing it. At Alibaba, I would often remind my team, success leaves clues. If you want to succeed, spend time with people who are already where you want to be. We created a space where everyone could learn from each other, where every voice mattered, and every idea was welcomed. That collaborative environment pushed us all to grow faster and dream bigger. But here's what's equally important. It's not just about being around successful people. It's about being around the right people, the ones who believe in you, the ones who push you to do better, even when it's hard. I've had to step away from people who were negative or toxic, not because I didn't care about them, but because their energy held me back. You have to protect your energy. Be intentional about who you allow into your life. Choose people who hold you accountable, who support your vision, and who remind you of your potential when you forget it. Those are the people who will help you rise. Once your circle is strong, there's another key to unlocking your potential: mastering your time. Mastering your time. If there's one resource more valuable than money, it's time. You can always earn more money, but once time is gone, it's gone forever. When I was younger, I used to think I had all the time in the world, but with experience, I learned that how you spend your time determines the quality of your life. Time management isn't just about being productive, it's about making room for what truly matters. One concept that changed my life is the 80-20 rule. It says that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. Not everything you do carries the same weight. So I started identifying the few tasks that truly move the needle and focused my energy there. This shift made a huge difference. It allowed me to accomplish more while working smarter, not harder. Another lesson I learned was the power of saying no. Early in my career, I said yes to everything, thinking that more opportunities meant more growth. But over time, I realized that saying yes to everything meant spreading myself too thin. I wasn't doing anything well. That's when I learned to protect my time fiercely. Saying no to distractions means saying yes to your priorities. Distraction is the enemy of progress. In today's world of non-stop notifications, emails, and social media, it's easy to get pulled in 100 directions, but the truth is, you can't build something great in a constant state of reaction. I started blocking out time for deep, focused work. No interruptions, no multitasking. That time became sacred. It's when I did my best thinking and made the biggest strides. And once you've learned to manage your time, the next step is learning to manage yourself, especially your emotions. Navigating your emotions. Your emotions can either be a powerful ally or a destructive enemy. One of the greatest skills you can develop is emotional awareness. I used to think strength meant ignoring emotions, powering through. But I've learned that understanding your emotions is much more powerful than suppressing them. Emotions like anger, fear, or frustration are natural, but they can cloud your judgment if you let them take control. Learning to pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully, especially in high-pressure moments, was a turning point for me. Instead of reacting impulsively, I started responding with clarity. This ability to manage emotion helped me lead more effectively and make better decisions. That doesn't mean you ignore how you feel. It means you acknowledge your emotions, then choose your response. Fear, for example, often shows up when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, which is also where the most growth happens. Instead of letting fear stop you, use it as fuel. At Alibaba, we faced moments of chaos and uncertainty. But what helped us get through wasn't panic, it was staying calm and focused. That's what emotional intelligence does. It helps you navigate challenges with strength and grace. It helps you build resilience. Because ultimately, once you can manage your emotions, you can manage your energy, and that's what leads us to the very foundation of everything. Your physical health. The foundation of health. No matter how ambitious you are, without good health, your potential becomes limited. I've always believed that taking care of your body is the first step to achieving anything meaningful. Think of your body as a high-performance vehicle. It needs the right fuel, regular maintenance, and care to function at its best. If your health breaks down, even the biggest dreams can feel out of reach, simply because you won't have the energy or resilience to pursue them. Throughout my career, I made a conscious decision to prioritize my well-being. I knew that without My health, I couldn't lead effectively or support my team. And this goes beyond hitting the gym or eating salads. It's about making health a non-negotiable part of your lifestyle. Simple habits like daily movement, balanced nutrition, proper rest, and staying hydrated can do wonders. They improve not only your physical strength but also your mental clarity and emotional balance. I've always encouraged my team to do the same because you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're running on empty, your work, relationships, and creativity suffer. Investing in your health isn't optional, it's essential. If you want to show up at your highest level, treat your body with the respect it deserves. Health also affects your mindset. When you're physically strong, you're sharper, more resilient, and better equipped to handle challenges. In high-pressure environments, whether you're running a business or navigating life, being healthy is your secret weapon. It allows you to think clearly, act decisively, and stay energized in the face of adversity. Once you've laid a strong foundation for your health, the next step is to approach your work and life with love. That's where true leadership begins. Entrepreneurship as a game of love at OMI. Entrepreneurship is not just about intelligence or emotional strength. It's about something deeper, what I call LQ, the love quotient. True entrepreneurs build with purpose. They care about the people they serve, the teams they lead, and the communities they impact. Business built only for profit rarely lasts. But when you build with love, you build something meaningful. At Alibaba, we weren't just focused on success. We wanted to create something that helped others succeed, especially small businesses. From day one, our mission wasn't just about making money, it was about creating value. And when you lead from that place of care and intention, people feel it. Your employees, your partners, your customers. That energy becomes the soul of your business. A company's culture starts from the top. When a leader genuinely cares, they create an environment where people feel seen, supported, and inspired to innovate. That's when real magic happens. I've always said, it's not enough to be smart, you have to care. Business is about relationships. And relationships are built on trust, empathy, and love. Entrepreneurs who lead with heart are the ones who change the world. When love is at the center of your mission, everything else, innovation, loyalty, growth, flows from there. And from that place, you're more willing to embrace the one constant in life: change. Embracing change is the only guarantee in life and business. If you fight it, you'll fall behind. But if you embrace it, you grow. I've learned this over and over again. Growth only happens outside your comfort zone. If you're not willing to stretch, adapt, and evolve, you'll never reach your full potential. In the early days of Alibaba, we faced massive uncertainty. The internet was new, e-commerce was doubted, and most people didn't believe in what we were building. But we did. We leaned into change and we kept moving forward, even when the path was unclear. That willingness to adapt is what helped us grow into something far bigger than we imagined. Change often feels uncomfortable, but that discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. It forces you to think differently, find new solutions, and innovate. I always say, change is not a threat, it's an opportunity. An opportunity to become better, stronger, and wiser. And in today's fast-paced world, adapting quickly is not a choice, it's a necessity. When you embrace change, you develop a trait that's vital for long-term success: resilience. Resilience, the stepping stone to success. No journey worth taking is smooth. You will fall. You will fail. I certainly did many times. I was rejected, doubted, and dismissed. But the one thing that kept me going was resilience, that inner strength to keep showing up even when everything seemed to be falling apart. At Alibaba, we faced setback after setback, but we kept rising. That's the essence of resilience, not avoiding failure, but refusing to be defeated by it. Every failure taught you as something, every hardship made us stronger. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel fear or frustration. It means that despite those feelings, you keep going. I've found that the hardest times often lead to the most meaningful breakthroughs. Success isn't about never falling, it's about rising each time you do. What fuels resilience is having a strong why. When your purpose is clear, you'll always find a way forward. For us, it was helping small businesses. That mission gave us strength even in the toughest moments. And when you're resilient, you find the courage to make bold, tough decisions. The courage to make tough decisions. Leadership is not about making popular choices, it's about making the right ones even when they're hard. Throughout my career, I've had to make decisions that weren't always well received. But deep down, I knew they were necessary. Courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means you move forward despite the fear. Many times, I didn't know if things would work out, but I knew doing nothing was not an option. Leadership demands action, sometimes without full certainty, and it's not just about taking risks. It's also about taking responsibility. I always accepted that as a leader, the final decision was mine. Whether we succeeded or failed, I owned it. That's what real leadership is about. Courageous decisions often lead to the greatest rewards, and they create space for something even more powerful. The freedom to dream big, the power of dreaming. By every great achievement starts with a bold dream. If you don't dare to dream big, you limit yourself before you even begin. When I started Alibaba, people laughed. They thought I was foolish to believe e-commerce could work in China. But I had a vision and I held on to it. Dreaming big isn't just about fantasy, it's about seeing what others can't, and being willing to chase it relentlessly. The most successful people don't settle for what is, they imagine what could be and then they act on it. But dreaming isn't enough. You need action. You have to work toward your dream every single day. Success doesn't fall into your lap, it's built with consistent effort, determination, and belief. Alibaba didn't become what it is by accident. It started with a dream and it became real through hard work and unwavering faith. So, dream big. Let your vision stretch far beyond your current reality, and then back it up with relentless action. Jack Ma's enduring wisdom in one of the most powerful speeches of his life. Jack Ma said something unforgettable: if not now, when? If not me, who? That simple line holds a lifetime of truth. He wasn't just delivering a motivational talk, he was issuing a call to action. Jack Ma's wisdom comes not from books, but from his lived experiences, failures, rejections, hard lessons. He challenged the audience to stop fearing the future and start owning their destiny. He spoke about resilience, purpose, time management, and emotional mastery, not just as tools for business, but as keys to living a meaningful life. He showed us that success isn't just about being smart or talented, it's about being brave enough to act, to learn, and to keep going when things get hard. Taking control of your destiny. The first step toward real transformation is taking full responsibility for your life, as Jack Ma says. As long as we blame others or external circumstances, we remain stuck. But when we say, "This is my life and I choose how to respond," everything changes. Owning your destiny means recognizing that your current situation is the result of your past choices. That's not a reason to feel guilty, it's a chance to take back your power. Because if your choices got you here, better choices can take you somewhere new. We all know people who've done this, who've turned hardship into fuel for growth. Like someone who lost their job, then started a business and created something incredible. The moment they stopped feeling like a victim and took charge, everything shifted. The lesson is simple: only you can change your life, and that change can begin today. Setting and reviewing goals. Clear goals are like a map. Without them, you're wandering. With them, you know where you're going, and every step has purpose. Jack Ma reminds us that hoping for success isn't a strategy. You need to define what you want, how much, by when, and why. Writing your goals down makes them real. Reviewing them keeps you aligned. When your actions match your intentions, progress becomes inevitable. Think of someone saving money without a plan. They might save, but for what? But when they decide they want to open a cafe, suddenly each dollar has purpose. That's the power of clarity. Without goals, you're adrift. With them, you're in control. The power of consistent discipline. Goals are vital, but discipline turns them into reality. Discipline is what gets you moving when motivation fades. It's what keeps you going when it gets hard. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Small daily actions: getting up early, learning something new, staying focused, add up over time. That's how transformation happens. Think of athletes. They train whether they feel like it or not. That's what we all need to do in our lives: show up every day and do the work. Cultivating a growth mindset. Jack Ma believes that leaders are learners in a fast-changing world. Standing still is falling behind. Personal growth should never stop. A growth mindset means staying curious. It means learning from failure, asking questions, and always seeking to improve, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. Read, listen, evolve. That's how you stay sharp. That's how you stay ready for what's next. Surround yourself with the right people. Will you spend time with shapes who you become? Jack Ma says to be intentional with your circle. The right people lift you up, challenge you, and push you to grow. It doesn't mean cutting everyone out, it means protecting your energy and choosing wisely. Look for people who are already where you want to be. Learn from them, support them. Let them support you. Together, you'll go farther. Optimizing your most valuable resource. Time is your most valuable asset. Jack Ma says to treat it with respect. Don't just be busy, be productive. Focus on what truly matters. Apply the 80-20th rule. Identify what creates the most value and do more of that. Say no to distractions. Protect your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Mastering your emotions. Emotions are powerful tools, but only if you know how to use them. Don't suppress them, understand them, use them to grow. Fear, frustration, even anger, these are signals. When you learn to listen, reflect, and respond instead of reacting, you gain power over your life. Emotional mastery means staying grounded and making wise decisions, even in the heat of the moment. What will you do next? You've read the lessons. Now comes the most important question. What will you do next? Knowing isn't enough, action is. What creates change? Will you take responsibility for your life? Will you set clear goals? Will you move forward even when you're afraid? The future is waiting, but it won't wait forever. Start now. The path to your greatest life begins with the decision to take the first step today.